Hello, everyone. Welcome back. NHLRumors.com. My name is Jim Biringer. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, subscribe, comment. Let's dive into some rumors from the National Hockey League as we ramp some things up. It's a mess in the New York, New Jersey area. The Vancouver Canucks, the same old story. Let's see what the Calgary Flames actually do. And is there going to be some patience with the Montreal Canadiens? And let's start with those New Jersey Devils, as we've talked about. Talked about it last time. Dougie Hamilton's name is out there. New Jersey Devils are trying to make some moves, trying to clear some cap space. Tom Fitzgerald talked to the media for the first time since the fiasco of the Quinn Hughes trade that it was probably never going to happen, coming out of his words, sounding like it. While he did say that cap space wasn't an issue and those no trade, no move clauses weren't an issue, they were an issue. He said other assets, the package that Minnesota sent to the Vancouver Canucks for Quinn Hughes, which involves Z. Bulliam, Leon Ogren, Marco Rossi, and a first. The Devils just couldn't match it. You think about it, who was going the other way? Dawson Mercer, Anton Siliev, Simon Nemec, guys like that. The Devils don't really have a lot of firsts right now either. How bare do they want to make this team too? And at the time, the team was injuries. How much more depleted was this lineup? So a lot of factors in there. But he said he wants to look to add, but it's complicated, right? Because they have $15 million in cap space tied up by Andre Palat and Dougie Hamilton, which, by the way, now Pierre LeBrun and Elliot Friedman have talked about as a name out there, especially Pierre LeBrun on TSN. His name is out there. They're trying to move him, despite Tom Fitzgerald also denying the report that said it was his analytics team that, were against signing Andre Palat. It wasn't his analytics team. We need to clarify the quote here. It was people within the organization advised Tom Fitzgerald not to sign him to that deal, not the analytics team. But the analytics team has been questioned by Rio Shero in the past. I think people were fine with the Palat signing, but everybody knew that was going to be a problem. But the issue with Hamilton and Palat is it's a very specific trade clause. It's a 10-team trade list. Not a 10-team no trade, not a 20-team no trade. It's a 10-team trade list. So 21 other teams they need approval for. Now, we can assume that the Canadian teams are not on them, maybe San Jose. We know there's been reported that Dougie, when he was scratched for the game against the Winnipeg Jets, things came out saying that there was a trade that was vetoed to the San Jose Sharks because the Sharks needed to get cap space. He didn't want to go there. Did they revisit that one? A couple potential fits. Because, again, these are not officially linked Toronto Maple Leafs, but they don't even have the cap space to do it. Even with a guy like Chris Tanev going on LTIR, they would need help from New Jersey to retain on Hamilton, and they don't want to do it because they're looking to add. And now Tom Fitzgerald finally says that he's willing to mortgage future assets, which he wasn't willing to do last year when the rules specifically said you could go over LTIR space and accrue it and have your team ready. They were linked to Braden Shen, still are. Ricard Raquel, still are. They were linked to Brock Besser. Now he's signed. Now he's got trade protection in Vancouver, and we'll get to that mess in a little bit. But, again, Ryan O'Reilly, another name, but Nashville's winning. Steven Stamkos, but Nashville's winning. He even admitted he's working the phones daily, takes two to tango, but nobody's really doing anything. Because why? Well, the standings are really, really tight, especially in the Eastern Conference. Teams still believe they're in it, but they're not changing coaches. So it's very, very difficult for the Devils to really do anything if they can't move $15 million right now. And it's staying on Hamilton. He has a $7.4 million signing bonus that kicks in July 1st. Now, once that's done, the cash itself isn't terrible. A team could eat that and pay him. But do they want to trade him before the Olympic break? They try to want to, but now they're winning. Now he's got 3 assists. He's a +4 after the scratching. Will he be back in the game? Sheldon Keefe was unclear if he'll come out. They have a rotation of healthy bodies. Going to be interesting to see what happens with the New Jersey Devils moving forward. Again, the other team that's been connected to him was Carolina Hurricanes, but Hurricanes didn't want to pay him $9 million. The owner didn't want to go that high. They wanted to pay him around 8.5. He takes the Jersey offer. But again, the big key with this is moving guys out with specific trade clauses that they earned. And word on the street is it could affect players going to New Jersey. It's not the New York Rangers, but people will sign because it's the Rangers. The Devils have they have an image problem if they start doing this. And if they start winning, because now they've won 2 in a row, say they beat Carolina, they start going on a winning streak, they're back in the playoffs. Are they really going to tweak with this roster? Are they really going to move out a guy like Hamilton, Palat right now? Again, as much as they want to get it done, and they're looking to try to get it done, takes 2 to tango. How much? The next month's crucial for everybody here, and that's the word on the street. That's been the word on the street from everybody, from Emily Kaplan to Elliot Friedman to Pierre LeBrun to Dave Pagnotta, the fourth period. It's the next month is crucial for a lot of these teams. It might be a patient game. And if Dougie's on past the trade deadline, would it shock anybody? But they want assets in return. They don't want to eat. What are you going to get? Dallas isn't giving up Jason Robertson. Like, you got to make a hockey trade. Where are you looking? Again, these are potentials. You go to Anaheim, Utah. Does Utah take a chance? But what are you getting back? Are you getting back a Nick Schmaltz? But you better have a guarantee a contract's going to be signed because, he's a UFA. You go to Seattle, what can you trade for? San Jose, assets. What kind of assets are they giving up? So, very interested to see what the Devils do. They want to, add. But again, Dawson Mercer's played a little bit better. Simone Nemec is interesting to me, and I think this is where I'll end on the Devils. Tom Fitzgerald was asked about Arseny Gritsyuk's contract extension. Very, very quick to say, Gritsyuk, that's something we're going to take care of, going to stay here. When he was asked about the same thing about Simone Nemec, he took his time. He thought carefully. He said he needs a new contract, that it's something that I don't have to worry about today. Down the line. I think Simone Nemec is a trade piece. I think he was part of the Vancouver deal. And I'm just not sure the way they play him and the developing him that he'll be long for the New Jersey Devils, just a gut feeling. But that's the Devils fiasco because they're the Rangers of last year. But the Rangers are still the Rangers of last year because it's a complete mess. James Dolan came out and said, hey, I'm still backing my general manager. I'm still backing my team. I'm still backing everybody. And don't count my team out. But this team is not a playoff team. It wasn't a playoff team. Never was a playoff team. You changed the culture. You got rid of guys that wanted to be there like Jacob Trouba, like Chris Kreider. If you developed Capo Caco, if you moved up the kid line, maybe you had something. Things were going in the right direction, and now they're not. Another drubbing, giving up another 8 goals. Again, as well as Jonathan Quick can be as a backup. And everybody's like, oh, got to be the starter. This is what happens when he's the starter. Defense, again, no Adam Fox, no Igor Shesterkin. It's time to sell. Now, I know Artemi Panarin is not happy. The fact that things are getting out, and he has been quoted as saying, I'm the one that decides my own fate. But the Rangers are selling. Panarin and the Rangers have not been talking about an extension. It's not even an extension has even been sniffed. Numbers, details, like nothing. He knows he can be the cream of the crop again in the free agent market. He was when he went to Columbus. It's even if there's a team that may know they can't sign him, they're going to take a shot at him. And the Carolina Hurricanes come to mind, but they're going to need the Rangers to retain. And even if he resigned there, I don't think he's going to get is what he's thinking of. And he's going to have to buy in to the Carolina Rod Brindamore way. However, he isn't the only piece, even though he's the UFA piece. Dave Mika's Zibanejad, and the issue with Panarin, too, is the same issue with Zibanejad, full no movement clause. So they have to go to him and say, hey, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be traded? That's starting to pick up. The Rangers, another embarrassing loss. The hands of the Ottawa Senators, a snowman 8 spot was put up after the Bruins put up a 10 spot after they lost to the Kraken. Team can't win at home. Other pieces, Zibanejad, you look at Vinny Trocheck, the center market. Is that something they start to look at, explore, as much as he's been good to this team? Alexis Lafreniere definitely needs a change of scenery. But again, if the Rangers start jettisoning players like a Lafreniere and they start to be something elsewhere, then you look and you're saying, oh, Rangers or Buffalo Sabres can't develop players. They have UFA players as well. As much as Jonathan Quick wants to be a Ranger, I think he might be on the block. They have Carson Soucy, a couple other players. So Rangers are going to be an interesting team. James Dolan just didn't get it right with this. But then that leads to the other dysfunctional team, which is the Vancouver Canucks, who have admitted, Jim Rutherford, Patrick Alvin, in comments with Sportsnet, now with the Province, now with the Globe and Mail, Alvin on the Canucks.com, rebuild this year in Vancouver. And this is what they want to do. Now they're taking calls on Elias Pettersson. He's been out there for a while, even before he signed that extension, right? It was like the Carolina. They were trying to get Mikko Rantanen or Marty Necas. Didn't revisit it. They tried to go back. Brock Besser's name was going there as well. Did he go to Buffalo before Dylan Cousins was traded in a hockey trade? He was linked with Bo Byram. Is that something they revisit? Does the Los Angeles Kings take a run at Elias Pettersson? The Philadelphia Flyers, Montreal Canadiens, San Jose Sharks, Detroit Red Wings, do they take a shot at it? He's out there. Kiefer Sherwood's out there. The price tag for Sherwood is high. Been told they love Sherwood. They love him in the room. They want him to be there. But the contract, they haven't agreed upon one. They're thinking first round pick. Plus could be a little less, could be a little bit more. Some team will pay for it to get him there to win in their situation, like Florida, like Tampa, a team like that wants to win. Maybe a Colorado takes a shot, but they also got Teddy Bluger, Connor Garland, Tyler Myers. You got Philip Roenick. You got Evander Kane, Brock Besser. Like, they're still the same guys that have been out there for the last 4 years. The turnover, the change that Jim Rutherford, Patrick Alvin, more so Rutherford, has had over the last couple of years because he wants his team to win. It's coming back to bite them in the butt. No consistency, goaltending. Demko's the poor extensions, trying to hotshot they stay in the playoffs, try to put pieces together, stay in a playoff race, get the playoff revenue, similar to what we saw with Pittsburgh in the NFL. Here we are in Garland. Before he signed that extension, Connor Garland was going to be shipped out of town. That was the year OEL was available. Same with Brock Besser. Brock Besser's name's out there again. Tyler Myers' name. But there's like 11 guys that you can't trade because they got no trade clauses, no move clauses. Jake DeBrusk just signed there. They're looking to move him. They're taking calls on everybody, and it's not surprising that they are, because the general manager wouldn't be doing his job if he didn't. But the fact that is they're heading down this Corey Schneider, Roberto Luongo situation again tells me they haven't learned from past lessons. And the biggest question of all, is Thomas Drance from The Athletic wrote, and I echo this, is do they stick with the rebuild plan? Because if they get all these assets and they change over, if Rutherford's not even there after this season, which is a good possibility he may not be because he just walks away, and they bring in new management, they're going to be told, oh, well, get it ready, get it together, without completing the process. Canucks, Rangers are a mess right now. Devils kind of a mess. Does Calgary go into sell mode? I think they're going to. Near the bottom of the Western Conference, 7 points out, very tough. Rasmus Anderson's name's been picking up. He's been linked to Toronto Maple Leafs, Vegas Golden Knights, Dallas Stars, LA Kings could take a shot at him, right? But he needs a new extension. Does Carolina take a shot at Rasmus Anderson? You know, they've been trading partners in the past. Does he want to stay there? Or does he really want to go play with his buddy Noah Hannafin in Vegas? But Vegas doesn't have the assets right now to get it done. Very interesting. And again, with Kadri, I think while noise is picking up around Kadri, it's going to come down to, okay, what's the offer? If it's a yes offer that makes me think like the Quinn Hughes deal was in Minnesota, that's the type of offer that could get Kadri out of Calgary, but that's a guy you win with. That's a backbone guy like Blake Coleman. You know, Tampa's going to sniff around on him. Tampa might sniff around on Palat too. But Coleman wants to be there. Kadri wants to be there. Anderson, we're not sure about. Is there impatience in Montreal? They just re-signed Alexander Texier, 2-year deal, $5 million total, $2.5 million AAV. Does that kind of pump the brakes? Because they might have flipped him with guys coming back. Maybe they try to flip Line A if he doesn't fit into this lineup. This Canadians team is cooking. They still need more NHL depth. They still need more NHL quality depth on the back end because their defense right now is an area of weakness. So maybe they can upgrade there. Toronto's looking for centers, wants to make hockey trades. Been linked to Dougie, but that'll be tough for them to do. So we'll see what happens with them. I'm interested to watch to see what happens with the Toronto Maple Leafs. where they go from there. Ottawa Senators as well. That the next stretch for a lot of these teams would be very, very crucial. So the Devils, can they make moves? Yes, it's going to be difficult. The Rangers need to make moves. Canucks are always changing their plans. Now it went from hybrid retool to rebuild. Calgary's got pieces teams want. Utah wants to make a splash somewhere around here. And again, with the way the standings are, nothing probably won't happen until that deadline of the Olympic break. Got a couple trades here and there, but with the standings so tight, going to be very difficult. This has been Jim Biringer, NHLRumors.com. Guys, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment. We'll be back again real soon. Take care.